Muxbal in Mam dialect means place surrounded by clouds. Mam dialect comes from the Mayans. It's located on the slope of the Tacanal volcano. It's in the border with Guatemala at 1,500 meters. I'm a sixth generation of coffee producer. The plantation was bought by my grandfather from the Ochoa brothers in 1959. I have great memories from when I was young. I have great memories. We learned to drive in this road. We learned to drive when we were maybe 12 or 13 years old. This El Caracol goes 200 meters up in 17 turns, and it's the life of the plantation. We used to walk almost every day to the river for a swim, and then head back, and we used to run around the plantation all day long. My mother used to tell us, don't get dirty, and we would go in and come back half naked in underwear, completely covered in mud and all wet, and our clothes would be lost somewhere in the plantation that somebody would have to go and look for them because we didn't even know where they were at. It was beautiful.
I was working in a kitchen down on the seafront and met Alan through the girl who I was doing the cafe with. So I met him at a pub and we had I think it was a minute interview. And then I went, yep, you got the job. Right, let's drink beer. So we sat and drank beer all afternoon. And then we needed someone to wash the dishes. And Al said, Nick's no, actually, I think we told you you'd cook. But, so Nick joined. And Joe was working just next door in another cafe. And so it was kind of this small world. And then Laura's was a friend of Nick's. And then whilst looking for a shop, I met Nigel. So many great people joined the company that the company needed to grow because we needed to find shops for them to manage because they wanted to be managers. And it was like, if it wasn't for the people involved in Small Batch, it wouldn't exist.
Mi nombre es Meggy Rodríguez, soy la propietaria de Finca Muxbal. Cada salida al campo con mi papá no era solo una lección de campo, era también una lección de vida. Yo nunca me di cuenta de todo lo que yo aprendí estando al lado de él callada, porque no participaba, yo iba de acompañante. Y el día que me tocó tomar las riendas de la finca, me empecé a dar cuenta de cuántas cosas aprendí sin saber que las estaba aprendiendo.
You know, doing more and more travel in the coffee world and going to Origin, you kind of realise how grand a scale it is. You know, to get this thing from a seedling in the nursery to a cup of coffee for someone in Brighton is like, it is a minor miracle to be top quality. There's so many stages where it can go wrong. There's so many hands that touch it. From the agronomist working in the nursery, adding the plants, you know, making sure they're reared properly under proper shade, to making sure that the biosphere is great, everything like that, to the pickers, picking perfectly ripe cherries, into the mill, making sure you've got quality separation, the floaters are going down different channels, you've got the right coffees coming in, onto the patios, you might have daylight separation, varietal separation, quality separation, making sure it's turned properly, everything's dried equally. Once it's dried into, you know, rested, making sure it's rest properly in the parchment, into the dry mill, make sure it's hulled properly, graded properly, make sure it's shipped properly. Guys at the warehouse in England or wherever it's going, unloading it, myself or Joe or someone else roasting it here, making sure we use it, you know, while it's still fresh and good. And then even if we roast it, rest it properly, make sure it's packaged nicely, it's not going to get stale. And then, you know, those last few minutes are the most vital time because you can take the most delicious coffee and get it wrong right then. But there's so many hands that touch it, so many times it can go wrong, and it is, if you present this final cup to someone and it's amazing, it is a minor miracle. Like it's hard to appreciate how ridiculously hard it is to do that if you haven't seen the whole process.
Each of the shops have got their own identity and people are really excited about that. So they come in because they like coming in and they feel kind of part of this community, and I think that's why people in Brighton feel like Small Batches, they have such an affiliation with it.
I'd like the future of this coffee plantation to be exactly the same as it is now. I want it to be this nice, simple, peaceful place that's been for so long. Just keep it that way and keep it in the family.
small batch. Like, I'm happy for it to grow. You know, we do realise that the growth's got to be slower than other companies because we're just not prepared to compromise on the quality of what we do. It's more about building something that can last. You know, we get to do something really cool every day, and we're working with some great farmers and some great people in the community, and you know, we're living the dream now. This is really cool. This is, you know, we deliver a really, you know, good product that we take care of all the way from the farm to, you know, the person's cup. You know, we really want to make sure every time that we do anything that we're adding value, you know, and actually making a difference in people's day.